So I'm going to show you an exercise which is very common the world over, a major scale. And we're going to start with the major scale of C, simply because it's got no sharps or flats in it. So a major scale goes like this. Okay, that's how it sounds. Now, the way that it works is there's a specific pattern of tones and semitones between each note. So between the first two notes there's a tone, the second two notes there's a tone, the next one there's a semitone, tone, 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 and finishes on a semitone. Okay, so this works with no sharps or flats for this, the key of C, but we have to use sharps and flats when we go to other keys. I'll show you about that in a few minutes. So in terms of the fingering that we use, we're going to start, we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, then we're going to put the thumb underneath and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go back in reverse, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then obviously there's only 3 notes left, so we need to use these 3 fingers to finish. So 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do that with our left hand as well, in mirror image pretty much. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and then underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now putting those together is slightly more tricky because you change in different places. So you go 1, 2, 3. Now this hand comes underneath, this hand carries on as it was, and then both on the third finger there, 3, 2, 1, and then back again. This one's underneath, and this one's over the top. There's a few things which will help you in the beginning as you do this. So with the C scale, if you use both middle fingers together, they'll always work. They come together. They come together there. Okay, and also on this particular scale, thumbs don't come together. Thumbs and index finger come together on both hands like that. Okay, so you can go thumb and index finger, thumb and index finger, thirds together, thirds, thumb and index, thirds. So that's the scale of C. Now we're not learning this as a finger exercise so much, we're learning it more to get used to what sharps and flats are in what keys. So this is a handy way of doing it. We're going to do the same thing on the scale of G. And first of all, I want you to see if you can work out which note sounds wrong if I don't play any sharps or flats. If I just play all white notes starting on a G, one of the notes sounds wrong. See if you can work out which one it is. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, so one of those notes should have been not quite what you were expecting, not something that's slightly unfamiliar. So hopefully you got that one. The second last note is wrong. So the second last note, if you remember, needs to be a semitone. So we're going to go, and we're going to make this a sharp, and then come down again. So we'll do that both hands together. So we say that the scale of G has got one sharp in it, which is F sharp. So every time you need to use an F, it'll be an F sharp. Let me show you another way of looking at that. It's a practical use of the scale, I suppose, of the key. So if we were to do a tune. Let's take a tune traditionally English, God Save the Queen, and we start that on C. So. No sharps or flats. Okay, so we're going to do the same on G. I'm going to try and play that tune without any sharps or flats and see what happens. Doesn't sound right. So we have to use an F sharp to make that sound right. So that's what key means, okay? Now we'll look, as we go along, we'll look at other keys and the sharps and flats and the scales that go along with those. But that's your first introduction to major scales.